Hey guys, and welcome back to the Interceptor. We're here with another war video, and today D69 is going to be taking on an Asian alliance. So these guys are actually the shell of an alliance we faced 2 times last season. So we faced the same alliance. I think we faced them in the 8th and the 12th war. So like we had 2 back-to-back and then 12 more wars until we faced them. But last time we faced them, we did lose. However, the time before, we won. And the second time we lost, we already had Masters locked in, and we didn't have a shot at top 3. So we didn't boost at all, like the entire war. And we still only barely lost. So we know that we can take these guys if we start playing well. But today just wasn't the best war overall, and you guys are going to see that. So, unfortunately, the timing for planning war today did not line up well at all for me. So I actually had to have the other officer plan war. He only did this 2 times the whole season. I normally do all the wars when I'm not working. However, it's just like my schedule's not consistent, so it's just unfortunate timing. So he did plan the war, and I got off war about 2 hours before joining, but I just had a lot of questions about all the paths. I probably questioned about 10 of the choices he made for the champs, and then we all ended up switching a few things, like a compromise sort of, and we went with something that we thought was best. But now we're going to go against this Korg. We're of course going to be quaking it. I'm actually taking all of my fights this war after the global went down. So even section 1, the link that comes from section 1 path 2 to the mini is power focus 1. And that actually does absolutely nothing when they place a Dormammu, and you can just quake it easily. It might not have been Dormammu, but I know it was some like really, really easily quakeable champion. And they placed with Stubborn, by the way. So we're going to be quaking this Korg, and this fight is not going to go too well. I'm going to miss like 3 or 4 parries this whole fight, and I don't know. It's just, I've had so many better fights quaking Korgs, especially on Mixed Master, that right there I missed a parry. I'm going to miss another one very soon. I'm going to get hit a few times there. I missed another parry. I don't know. It just was not the smoothest fight, especially when I'm trying to end off the season by not using too many items. But like I have to use them if I take damage, right? And so far it's going pretty well. It's clear that this fight's going to take about 1.5 minutes, and right there I just got hit a few times. Don't really know what happened. But this guy plays with courage, so you'll see that my parries are now doing 400 damage. When I land them, that was 2 failed parries in a row. Yeah, so that was 176 damage as opposed to about 140. So that's the way you can tell that. But yeah, this guy's going down pretty well, even though I'm missing parries left and right. But luckily, I'm still blocking when I'm missing the parries. So this is actually a really good placement for Korg. I think the best counter to him on this node would probably be Ghost. But you'd have to do like really weird combos. Namor could also take this pretty well, and there's a few other champs that could as well. Probably Doom would be good as well. But now we're going to go up to this Weapon X, and I'm not going to take this fight at the same time. The only reason is because Section 2 Path 4 actually requires 4 energy, other than most other paths which require 3 energy to finish the path. So I'm going to move up, go to bed, wake up, and look at how boosted I am. Let's pause that right there. Those are the max boosts you can use in each class. There's technically a 20% health boost available, but it's only available through the gifting, through the solo crystals, and I just didn't have, I didn't feel like popping them when I had a 15%. But yes, we are max boosting for just this one fight. This is Warlock's only fight this war, and I'm using massive tech boosts for it. But yeah, this is a scary, scary fight if you're not big boosted or have a 6-star rank 3 Warlock. This is going to be a rank 3 6-star Wolverine Weapon X on Fury build-up with Brute Force, and with him being fully unblockable as soon as he throws a special attack, basically for the rest of the fight. It's just a hard fight. So right here I mess up. I'm only going to do a light attack. I should have done a 5-hit combo into a special 2, but here we're going to do exactly that, and he is just melting. Our tech boosts are great. He throws the L1, and then right here I'm going to hit a sweet intercept and end this fight off with an L2. So it looks like a very easy fight, but you guys have, if you think that was an easy fight, you have no clue, or if you think that was a safe fight, you have no clue how potent those Furies are. With 4 Furies, if I'd gotten hit there, I would have been below 50%. Like, it's pretty crazy how much the damage does. But yeah, now we're going to be going up to this Teryx, and we're going to be quaking it. So Teryx is a not the best defender on this node. The reason people put him on this node is because when you're near him, he can place the armor breaks on you, which deal the passive damage. That's why he's an annoying defender. However, there are a number of champs that counter this, such as Thing, Doom, and Quake being the top 3. Also, I'm not running suicides. If Path 4 allowed you to use suicides more freely, I probably would be. But there's just a little bit too much risk involved, and I don't really mind my fights taking a little bit longer. So yeah, we are going to have a lot of Quake fights. This fight and the next 2 fights are all full Quake style, like evade style Quake fights. So they're just a little bit long, right? So Teryx is a very easy champion to Quake, though. His animations are super exaggerated because he's swinging that huge axe around. But he's still got a decent amount of health. Also, you'll notice that I used my White Magneto pre-fight on Korg and Weapon X, and if you know the way that he works, you actually get 3 of them per quest. However, at this time, I was so focused on doing my fights, I forgot to ever apply it. So I had a free 15% attack, because that's what it does. If you're a hero or a metal champion, it makes all your stuns passive, but for all champions in the game, including metal and hero, it just gives you a flat 15% extra attack rating. I don't know why. What is the logic behind not using it? I was just not paying attention, honestly. Right here, we're going to throw on Invulnerable Boost. It was our last Invulnerability boost. We also used our last SP1 boost, so going into the off-season, I have absolutely 0 of each, so that's fun. But that's just because we really needed to win this war, and the war was still pretty close at this point, even though we were at 140 attacker kills, and they were 150 they'd already cleared, but we needed to clear in like 3 or less deaths for the last 10 fights or so. So I'm just going, this is why I max boosted and I used the invulnerability boost, although I'm fairly certain, basically 100% certain, that I would not have died to any of my fights today, even if I had used light boosts and not the invulnerability boost. But either way, we're completely fine here. We're just quaking a little bit. We threw off that heavy because I wanted to get the armor break on me so that I could go up to a full yellow bar, so I didn't have to heal for the Doom fight, and it actually worked out exactly like I thought. Now, I am taking this fight linked. This is going to be linked with the Sadist from Path 5, but the thing is, Quake doesn't inflict any debuffs, which give the opponent an opportunity to hit you while the debuffs are up. So you have the concussion on you, but you auto-evade all attacks, so the only way that could bite you in the back is if you eat a special attack while you have the concussion up. But yeah, you can see Quake's not really doing too much damage. They're doing 9k per cycle against a rank 3 6-star Doom on a fairly beefy mini-boss. But it's clear we're not going to time out. But this fight is going to be about a 3-minute fight, and I actually play this fight completely flawlessly. I have a total of 0 blocked hits, and I go full deck style the entire fight, because this is literally the fight I used to do every single day in Alliance Quest, the boss, and I would bring Quake in all 3 versions of Alliance Quest as my 3rd champ. So I'm going to skip through the remainder of this fight. I'm just going to quickly go through it. Oh, I went back to the start. So here we go. I'm going to quickly go through the fight. I think I take 1 blocked hit right here. Right there. I don't know why, but either way. I don't take any more for the rest of the fight, and that fight goes down. So now we are going to move up to the boss, right? The boss is dead, so we're going to clear. And that's going to be it for my contribution to the war. So the people on the right and the people in the middle cleared a little after an hour after me. And we did take home the victory versus these guys, which I'm super happy about because it actually locks our spot in Masters. So D69, for now the 3rd season in a row, has gotten Masters. They, of course, they only have 145 diversity. They are missing out on 5 diversity points, and we did beat them in deaths, although we had a very rough war. My battle group had 4 deaths total. We had one guy die 1 time to an R3 Domino Sig 200 Awaken, like it's crazy, on Rage, and he used Vision, and he had 156 hits on the opponent, and he died from crit failure damage. So that was very unfortunate. He played the fight very well. And then we also had one person that died 3 times to a fight they were extremely unfamiliar with. And he just didn't really ask for help, and he just kept going. He went back in twice after he died, and it was just a really unfortunate decision. We wish he'd talked to us, but it actually does not matter, because we won the war and we clutch Masters, so I am all is forgiven. I do not care. But yeah, that is going to be the end of the war season. It feels like this season went super fast, but I'm really, really enjoying war seasons, especially now that we're tracking all of my stats and I'm using the PSR system that Taters made up, or like the sheet he made up. I'm using that to track my battle groups, like how we're doing in war. But we are 7-5 on the season. I have a total of 4 deaths, all 4 of which, by the way, were to the boss. So maybe that's a sign. Although last season I only had 1 death to the boss, and I took the boss 6 times. So I don't know if that's actually a sign, and maybe I just had bad luck this season. But we had 82 out of 85 for our PSR, so only taking 85 fights a season, I really don't like that. I think that's a little low. Last season I took 90, and the season before that I took even more. I just didn't document the number of fights. But yes, that is, and then also our Deathless Streak is at 5 because we died in the last fight of the last war, and I had 5 fights today. So we're hoping to keep that Deathless Streak going over the next season. I'm going to have a rank 3 6-star Awakened Ghost next season, so hopefully I'll be using her a lot. Maybe the boss fights I do get are going to be solos now because I have a rank 3. But that's going to be it for this one, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I should have my Alliance War Season 22 results and rewards video up a day or 2 after this one. So I'll see you.